everybody, this is Dee. Everybody's been asking me how to make the Farmhouse granny square, so I figured I'd do a video. And I'm using Hirschner's worsted yarn. I'm actually making blankets for Christmas for my family, and so I'm making tons and tons of these squares to make into blankets. Now let me show you the Farmhouse granny square. This is what it looks like. Let me move this. This is what it looks like. And I think it's pretty cool. You know, it has these X's, and when you put them together, it makes these boxes like this. It's pretty cool. And I'm just, you know, doing double crochet or single crochet across to gather them. No big deal. I've got a lot to make. So that's what it looks like. Hold on one second, I'll grab a single one to show you. Okay, this is a single one by itself. I'm doing it in the colors for the Detroit Lions. My family are football fans, so we're going to have dog alerts. There's nothing I can do about it. Anyways, this is what the Farmhouse granny square looks like. And I got some fuzz on there. Anyways, and then that gray one is what it looks like put together. Okay. All right, hold on one second, dog alert. Okay, hopefully that quits. Okay, so what you're going to need is, any yarn will do. I'm using the 4-weight Hirschner's worsted. I'm using, I believe this is a 6mm crochet hook, a darning needle for your ends, and some scissors to end your square. Okay, so what I'm doing is we're going to make our starting loop here. I'm sure you guys know how to do that, so I don't have to show you. Anyways, we're going to crochet 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches. We're going to go back into the very first one and pull that through. And then chain 2. Now we got our little loop there to start out. Okay, normally I use the magic circle, but in this particular pattern they are using the chain 4, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so to start out, we chain 2. We're going to do a cluster stitch of just 2. That first one counts as 1. There's our second one, and we get a red hair. Okay. Anyways, and I'm going over this chain too. I'm kind of incorporating it in all the way around. Okay, so we're going to pull through 2 and then chain 2. And we're going to do this. Now the second one, you just pull through and pull through to make your cluster of 2. You'll end up with 3 chains on the hook. Pull through all 3, chain 2, and do it again. You're going to do this until you have 8 all the way around. So it's pretty easy. This granny square goes really quick, which I appreciate because I have so many blankets to make. Got 3 on our hook, pull through, chain 2. And you're going to do that till you have 8 little clusters of 2. Okay? And I will be back once I've got my 8. Chain 2. Okay, now I've got 4. I'll be back with the 8. I just wanted to show you, I'm at I've got 7. I'm at the 8th one. Just kind of scooch them around to get in there and do your little 2 cluster stitch. And then chain 2. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do a single, you're going to attach it right there. Okay, now we've got 8 of our little cluster stitches. We're going to go into this first gap here and just do a slip stitch and then chain 2. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to do a cluster of 3 this time. So there's 1, 2, 3, go through all 3, chain 2. Now in that same spot, we're going to do another cluster of 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. You'll have 4 stitches on your hook. Pull through all 4 and chain 2. In the next spot, we are going to do 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, and chain 2. Now that 2 clusters right there, that's 1 corner. This is the gap in between. Now we're going to do another corner with our cluster stitch of 3. 2, 3, pull through all 4, chain 2, and do another cluster of 3. We're going to do this all the way around. Every other one is the clusters, and every other one is chain 2. Every other one is 3 double crochets. So now we're at our next one. This is 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget that chain 2 in between each one. Okay, now we're at another corner. We're going to do clusters of 3, 2, 3, and then chain 2. Oops, chain 2. Do another cluster in that same hole because we're making a corner. Pull through all 4, chain 2. All right, next space, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and then chain 2. That chain 2, if you forget it, it's going to mess you up, so don't forget that chain 2. Okay, now we're at another corner. So we're doing our sets of 3 clusters 2 times. Okay, there's 4, and of course I hung up. There we go. Chain 2, do our other cluster of 3. Okay, chain 2. Now we're down to our last one. You're going to do 3 double crochets, just like you've done in all the rest. Chain 2, and you're going to go into that top first stitch there and slip stitch into it and slip stitch in between the 2 clusters and chain 2. Now what you're going to do now is you're going to do the corner, which is the clusters of 3, but the next part's a little different. Chain 2, I'm sorry, and do another cluster. Chain 2, don't forget those chain 2s. Okay, now we're at the holes on either side of our 3 double crochets. So in the first hole, we're going to put 2 double crochets. And this is pretty much the only time in the pattern, these 3 rows, they have to switch anything up. Everything else is exactly the same, and you'll see. Okay, so now we're going to put a stitch in the top of each one of these double crochets. So there's our first one, our second one, our third one. In the next hole, we are going to put 2 double crochets. So it matches with the other side. Okay, at the end of that, chain 2. We're going into that corner. Okay, and we do our cluster again, clusters of 3. Chain 2, another cluster of 3. See how easy these are? These are super easy. Cluster of 3, got 4 stitches on your hook, pull through, chain 2. All right, now we're back to one of those 3 double crochet areas. So we're going to put 2 double crochets in the first hole and a double crochet into each one of the 3 double crochets. Alright, now we're at the next hole, 2 double crochets again to match the other side, and then a chain 2. That chain 2 is very important throughout. Okay, so let's get around this corner and I will be back. Oops, nope, we're doing clusters. I'll be back. Okay, I've got all the way around. We've chained 2 and we're gonna slip stitch into that top and slip stitch into the center of our corner and chain 2. And basically we're going to do that now. From this point on, it's all exactly the same. Okay, it's all exactly the same. We're going to do a cluster stitch of 3. Pull through, chain 2, do another cluster stitch of 3. Chain 2. Okay, once again, we've got the hole. Now that's next to all of our double crochets. We're going to chain 2 and then do 2 double crochets in that first hole and then go all the way down doing a double crochet. Oops, let me get some more here. A double crochet in the top of each one of those double crochets from the previous row. Okay, now we've got to that space. We're going to do 2 double crochets and a chain 2. And we're going to do another corner. So we do another cluster stitch. Pull through all 4, chain 2, do another cluster stitch to make our corner. Chain 2. Now we're at the double crochets. Do 2 in the corner. And you can do this as big or as small. You can stop right here if you want a small square, or you can continue on to make an entire blanket. Just keep continuing on. It'll be a great big X going down the middle. But I'm doing 6 rows is what I do. And we're back to the double crochets here. So you just continue on. And let me scooch this up. Okay. So see, I have done 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's the square that I'm making my Afghans with. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how to do it. It's very, very simple. It goes very, very quick. And you can make a whole blanket with just a great big X going across it. You can change colors. It doesn't matter what weight. You could do, 6 rows of this color and then 6 rows of another and then 6 rows and make it a great big square or Afghan. Or you can do like I'm doing. I'm doing 6 rows, but you can pick your number and make your granny squares. And anyways, what I started to show you before my camera went off is how it looks. And I think it's very cool. I know I showed it more than once, but I think it's pretty cool how it turns out. So I'm going to just continue on from where I left off. And like I said, you can do these as big or as small as you want. You can change colors. You can do whatever. I'm just doing these for Christmas in the Detroit Lions colorway. I also have to do a couple in the Detroit Tigers baseball team. But these ones are football. And I'm just double crocheting in the top of each double crochet till I get to that gap. Pull some yarn. When I get to that gap, I'm doing 2 double crochets and a chain 2, and then doing another corner. There's our gap with our corner. We're doing a cluster of 3. 1, 2, 3, pulling through all 4 stitches. 1, 2, and another cluster of 3. And you just keep doing that. It's super simple, super fast, and I can't remember offhand the tutorial I watched, so I'll put it down in the description box. This is not my doing. I just wanted to show you how to do the Farmhouse granny square. And I've got to the gap, so I'm going to do 2, and then continue on. Pretty simple. And put this over to the side. This is what it looks like when it's done. All right, I hope you guys were able to follow me. I'm new to tutorials, you know that. And I just wanted to come on here and show you. All right, much love, my friends. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.